Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers on the Xbox, on the Series X, for this short tutorial on how to make a piston lift. A few people have reached out to me in the past and privately said, hey, how do you make a piston lift? We've seen a couple of your maps that have got this saved worlds, that have got these kind of piston lifts on, but how do you do it? Well, there's a couple of ways. But the one I want to focus on requires a little bit of DLC. Now, I always say that it's worth buying the DLCs for Space Engineers because they add so many new blocks and so many new options to the game. It's not pay to win in that regard. It supports Keen and allows them to create cool content and expand the game even more. With that said, you are going to need the DLC pack for Automatons and Decorative Pack 3. And the reason is that we want the inset light block for the Automatons DLC, which you should have anyway, because that's an absolutely brilliant block. And the inset button panel block, which is another great block if you're going to make any kind of lift. So to get started, we want to make a lift. So first of all, we're going to punch a hole in the map here, and this is just the built-in Redshift map. We're going to pop a hole here, and I just want to come off the platform, press Y, hit the jetpack, and I just want to put a block in here. Now, while I'm here, I want to open up the build menu with the left stick, click it in, and tap RT until we come all the way across to Advanced Systems. And in Advanced, we will find the piston, the cornerstone of our lift. And mine has actually placed itself here. So if we just pop that in for the time being, you should see that the piston itself appears here. And that's the beginning of our piston-based lift. We're going to need to manipulate this lift. So this is where we go to our button panels in Advanced Systems again. We choose the button panel, and because we've got the DLC, we push up on the D-pad. You'll see the inset button panel. So we're going to want one here, and because we're going to build an enclosed lift, we're going to want one at least on the outside, because if that lift is up, you won't be able to access that panel there. And so we'll just pop one here for now. So that and that. We don't want to do anything else just yet. But what we do want to do is we want to link up this piston. And if we just go into the menu here, we need to look down the list, and it's a short list, so we don't need to search for piston 2. If we select that, we can call that and rename it piston lift, so we know exactly where it is now, and it's at 0.5, so let's just stick it to 1 meter, and we hold down the right bumper and tap left on the D-pad until we reach -1, and then we're just going to hit reverse, and that will sail up. And the reason we do this is so we know the maximum height that this is going to be at. And now we've got that, we can start looking at the structure. And since Keen fixed the lift or rather the collisions on pistons, we should be fine. To add some blocks around our piston, like so, until we make a little box. And this is where we want to change things up a bit. So we go in here, we go all the way across, to decoration 1 and choose spotlight, then push up on the D-pad until we get to the inset light, change the rotation so we know that is the correct facing for the light. We put 2 inset lights in. I'm thinking about it. If we want to fully enclose this lift, let's just get rid of that switch block there for the time being. Like so. Cross that bridge when we come to it. Now we can come back and go to our button panel on our recent blocks. It should still be there. There it is. And we can either have it there or we can face it this way if we want. And now all we have to do is just link up our first button here, press X on it and go through the list of blocks till you see the piston you want, piston lift, and we're going to just have it as reverse. So we press A on it, and then when we hit that button, this piston will come down to the ground floor. And then what we'll do here is we'll press X on that, activate that again with A, hit reverse and link that button. So now we just need to pretty up this particular piston. Best way to do that, go to your light armor panels in light armor and choose this rotation, pop down a light armor panel, and voila, you have a working, pretty piston-based lift. And at the top, if you're not planning to have like a viewing platform or whatever, again, you can just change the rotation on this, tapping the D-pad down until we get the green line, and then we can just drop another button in here. Same deal, link it up, bring it down to reverse, boop, and then we've got stand in the correct place, a smooth lift. We can summon up and down as we please, and it's a lot better than having to try and make lifts by changing the piston head so that it's a small head and then using small blocks and so on and so forth, or having to put rotors down and so on and then change that head so that that's a small head. In this way we just have a very simple system that works nicely and shouldn't introduce much clang to a ship. If you built one or two of these on board a ship, you might introduce some clang, but you never know. And that's about it. Just a nice small short tutorial on building a little lift platform. You can expand on this if you want, add some windows or expand the platform out so it's like a proper viewing platform. But there you go. And that's all I'm going to do on that one. I want to keep this one nice and short. So that's me done. All I'll say is stay safe, take care, have fun, enjoy the game. There is absolutely loads more to come from me. Loads more to come from Keen. The next video I'm going to do, hopefully I'll be back on schedule again. Now I've recovered from my short bout of not being well. And it should be back to the Survival 2024 guide, where we will add the blocks to the platform and make sure we've got enough power to power everything, so that then we can start looking for ore. And before I start looking for ore, I may do a short video on how to find ore on Earth-like, because I've done one on Pertum, but Earth-like is probably easier to spot certain types on, and so on. Until then, though, look after yourselves. Welcome to any of the new engineers who are joining us from Game Pass and the PlayStation. I'm DeWolfie1, and I will catch you out there in the next one. Bye for now.